In the heart of Kenya Coast National Polytechnic.
Nataka usome. Huwezi ingia na Mwakenya. Naona content.
Ni sawa kama mtu aliye utakaa hapo upate zero. Hapo tunatumia some tactics ndio upite.
Keep on looking left, right and center, so that is a sign that there is something fishy going on.
So it makes somebody never to concentrate while doing the exams because your mind will just be focused on whatever item you have carried, maybe in your pocket or somewhere else.
Students who use Mwakenya, sometimes it's the sake of ourselves. So these times, I think they just want to perform.
There exists quite yet undeniable phenomenon. The Mwakenya, a tiny piece of paper often no bigger than a matchbox, yet holding the weight of a student's future. It is said to carry the secrets of seeing an exam, but behind its seemingly innocent appearance lies a deeper story. Mwakenya is a common, albeit controversial to the student life, part of a student life. They come in various forms, some meticulously handwritten, others crammed with abbreviations, symbols or diagrams, tiny nuggets of knowledge tucked away for that crucial moment.
Cheating students use. For the male trainees, sometimes you'll find them, those they call Mwakenya. They have written some pieces of paper, they've written the content there, and then they hid them under their belts. Some of them would go an extra mile and hid them in their shoes because they assume that no one would dare ask them to remove their legs from the shoes. But male trainees mostly do that. For the female trainees, they usually write it on their thighs. Okay, so sometimes if you see a female trainee, I'm not saying that is the case in all cases, but some of them, when it is exam time, some of them you realize they come in with miniskirts. But now, when you see a female trainee, most of the time shifting her eyes from the table, from the chair where the booklet is, and looking down. Okay, now that is a sign of cheating. So there's a high probability she has written the Mwakenya on her thigh. So if I notice such kind of a situation, I usually involve my female colleague, trainer, to go and monitor what is happening what is happening on that particular chair where that female trainee is sitting. So forms of cheating are there. I cannot say they are not there. They are there.
While some students see Mwakenya as a quick solution to exam pressure, others understand that it is not just about writing answers down. To be effective, it demands preparation, months of internalizing, memorizing, and revising. The stakes are high, and effort to perfect a Mwakenya is no less intense than studying for the exam itself.
Nataka usome. Huwezi ingia na Mwakenya. Naona content.
For many, the need of a Mwakenya stems from the overwhelming fear of failure. The pressure to pass often overrides the sense of personal accountability, pushing students to seek shortcuts when they feel unprepared or overwhelmed by the sheer volume of material. Sometimes behind every cheat code, every piece of Mwakenya, there lies a hidden cost. Getting caught with a Mwakenya can lead to severe consequences, from failing the exam to facing expulsion.
Pia ukiingia na Mwakenya daru unashika na mwalimu wa security pale kwa exam ikiwa ni tight. Hakuna kitu kushika. Hadi jina yako utakuwa unaulizwa sana.
Yet, despite this risk, the allure remains. Praise from peers, the rush of outsmarting the system, and the promise of passing a grade can make the temptation too great to resist. Some argue that Mwakenya culture only highlights the larger issues within the education system. Is it a failure of the system or adequately prepare students, or does it reflect deeper issues in how students view learning and success? Ultimately, the story of Mwakenya is more than just a tale of cheating. It is a glimpse into the pressures, the challenges, and the complex relationships students have with education. A culture built on shortcuts where the end justifies the means, even if the true cost is far greater than depth than what the paper can hold. Cheating, once a widespread act in the black corners of classrooms, has become a silent rebellion, a quiet challenge to a system that demands conformity. For some, it is not just about the grades, but about providing that they can rise above, even if it means breaking the rules. The Mwakenya becomes a symbol not of dishonesty, but of the pressure and the fight for survival in a system that seems to favor those already at the top. Is more than just an answer sheet. It is a symbol of the larger conversation, a conversation about inequality, about access to resources, about the system that judges not just by knowledge, but by privilege. But for some students, exams are a storm they will never take alone.
This system is based on hands-on experience. So the trainee is supposed to showcase some of the things he or she is doing practically. For example, if it is shooting, the student has to shoot. There's no way you can pretend that you are shooting. You must be behind the camera. You must set the frame well. You must incorporate the settings of the camera. Also, editing. There's no way one can pretend to be editing. But maybe if I look at it in another angle, for somebody who is not critically or assessing the students 100%, the students might cheat, especially now that we are in the era of AI. There's this kind of software that is called CapCut software. So students can use that particular software and instruct it to do the editing for them. You see, recently I encountered that personally. I encountered that with some students, but because I had some experience with that particular software, I had to tell them point blank that here you had used the CapCut for cheating. So for somebody who is very careful, the students cannot cheat. But if you are careless, they will end up cheating using that particular software. Now I'm talking from this perspective of media, because I'm a media trainer, and that is the area I know best in terms of whether students are cheating or not cheating. So the only cheating area is when a student uses CapCut instead of the softwares that are hands-on, softwares like Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut, Sony Vegas, and other softwares. A student can cheat using CapCut by simply instructing it to do the editing for him or her. But for a trainer who is very careful, he or she will be in a position to know that this kind of editing was done using CapCut.
In the age of technology, the Mwakenya has evolved. It has taken on new forms, encrypted notes on smartphones, online cheat sites, and even digital collaborations. The fight for success, though different in its methods, continues. But as society advances, so too must we understand the root cause of this silent rebellion. The Mwakenya Chronicles are not just about cheating, they're about a larger system in need of change. And the question remains, can we build an education system that values integrity and fairness for all? Time moves forward, but the shadows of the Mwakenya still linger in the hallways of our educational institutions. As the years pass, we see a shift. Students approach their studies, an evolution in the methods, but the same underlying pressures. Technology has transformed the landscape. ChatGPT and other sites in technology have transformed the landscape into making cheating easier and more approachable. The Mwakenya of the past, once handwritten on a scrap of paper, but has now found a new home, the digital world. The cheats are now text messages, Google searches, even entire forums where answers are shared at the speed of a click.
There was a case that I encountered whereby a student had written something, had scribbled something on the paper, and when I got hold of that paper, the trainee told me he had not actually revised for that particular exam, and he had issues at home. He had lost his parents, so he did not have any time to do the revision. So based on what I encountered, based on how the student explained himself, having lost parents, no one would wish to lose the parents, especially at that critical time. Of course, that would be a reason as why this student was not prepared at all.
Ukiwa na Mwakenya pale exam room, maboys wako watakuinamishia, wanakutambua vibaya sana. Madem wanakuita baby, hata amjuani, hata anaweza kuangushia mzigo hapo. After exam anakulilia kikuita jina yako ndio umuonyeshe exam kutoka hapo. Yaani anakuita tu baby. Unatambulikananga sana ukiwa na Mwakenya.
Why students use Mwakenya that, sometimes as they say, for semester. So these students, I think they just want to perform well. Hakuna mtu anataka kuanguka. Lazima kufanya mzazi afurahie juu ya that performance. For me, I can't say actually they are stupid as the people still are mad but they just want to perform. But I can tell students, I can't tell them to stop using Mwakenya, but if they're using it, just like that.
Perhaps the Mwakenya Chronicles are not just about students, but about a call to reform the very foundation of education, a system that values knowledge, not just memorization, a system that recognizes the precious students face and rewards them for their efforts, not just their outcomes. For in the end, it is not the piece of paper that defines a person's potential, but the will to rise above the pressures and demands of a system that too often fails to see the whole student. Ultimately, the story of Mwakenya is more than just a tale of cheating. It is a glimpse into the pressures, the challenges, and the complex relationships students have with their education. Where the end justifies the means, even if the true cost is far greater than what the paper can hold.
My name is Brian Okoth, a former student at Kenya National Polytechnic, currently assisting students in placement, revision of courses, and career guidance at Kenya National Polytechnic. And again, I'm assisting students to apply, especially during examinations. My experience as a former student at Kenya National Polytechnic is that yes, at student capacity, Mwakenya was good, though it makes somebody never to concentrate while doing the exams, because your mind will just be focused on whatever item you have carried, maybe in your pocket or somewhere else. So it's kind of a center of interruption while doing an examination. So Mwakenya, I won't encourage Mwakenya.
Does the context of using a Mwakenya appeal to every student? It doesn't. Does it appeal to lecturers and invigilators in various disciplines taught in the Polytechnic? Collins Masai, Mwakenya Chronicles.